From the darkest reaches of the galaxy, the great hunt has called its children. There is no honor in the simple kill. There is only glory in the most dangerous quarry, the one that dwells in the cradles of life. We have traversed millennia. We have skinned beasts from alien suns. But now, the Yautja returns to Earth, not the one of cities and metal, but to the untamed Earth, the Jurassic era. The time, 150 million years ago. The place, an Eden of sheer ferocity, a biosphere ruled by fear. And into the heart of this terror, the hunter emerges. The code is clear. The hunt is only worthy if the prey can answer the challenge. He did not come for the weak. He came for the monarchs. His objective: 4 trophies, 4 creatures whose skulls will adorn his ship as proof that no era and no beast can escape the law of the universe's greatest predator. Let the Jurassic begin. Let the hunt begin. The water test. Megalodon. The water does not lie. In the abyss, its technology is dead weight. The biomask fails. The thermal vision drowns. Only pure fury remains. Its prey, the Megalodon. A brute of pure instinct. There is no honor, only hunger. The Yautja must fight, not for the trophy, but for the right to breathe. One mistake, and the hunter becomes bait. The descent into territory. The Yautja, stripped of its camouflage, descends blindly. It feels the vibration through its skin, not sensors. The signature of the apex predator. The Megalodon emerges from the blackness like a train of teeth. The hunter reacts on pure instinct, dodging the charge that generates a sonic shockwave. Plasma projectiles are useless. The water absorbs them. The extendable spear is fired, piercing the monster's blind flank. Fight for survival. The Megalodon roars a terrifying silence. It turns, dragging the Yautja at the speed of a torpedo. The hunter clings to the wound, his wrist blades tearing the thick hide to maintain his grip. He is being crushed by the pressure and brute force. In a desperate move, the Yautja slides toward the massive head. Before the Megalodon can swallow him, the hunter activates his self-destruct device, not to explode, but to overload his battery. The pulsing red light is a momentary distraction, capitalizing on the shark's second of hesitation. The Yautja drives the tip of the spear through its eye and directly into the brain. The impact is final. The muscle behemoth is paralyzed and begins its slow, eternal sinking. The air test. Quetzalcoatlus. The sky belongs to the law of gravity, and the predator hates weakness. The air prey is the challenge of speed and scale. Its prey, the Quetzalcoatlus. The hunter who masters the air controls the battlefield. It is the hunt of absolute precision. The Yautja predator, whose name is Aethelred, stands atop a rocky mesa. The air is dense and hot. Aethelred activates his biomask. The filters search for the heat signature. He finds it. a colossal, fast-moving spot, sweeping the sky 300 meters up. Quetzalcoatlus is a nightmarish silhouette. Its wingspan is 11 meters. Its membranous wings catch the wind with lethal grace. It roars, a deep screech that disperses with the wind. Aethelred knows his plasma caster is too slow. The Quetzalcoatlus is a shadow that moves at near sonic speed at close range. Aetheld tells himself, I can't follow it. I must force the play, the hook, and the trap. The Yautja leaps. He falls from the mesa and, before hitting the ground, throws his smart disc, not at the Quetzalcoatlus, but at a series of nearby basalt columns. The disc ricochets off 3 successive columns with audible rhythmic pings, emitting a specific sound pattern. The cry of an injured hatchling. The Quetzalcoatlus stalls in its dive. Its scavenger-predator instinct overrides its caution. It spirals down, its massive, horse-sized head peering into the canyon. Aethelred sprints across the canyon floor, activating his optical camouflage to the maximum. He is now a ghost on the ground. The gravity maneuver. The Quetzalcoatlus lands awkwardly on the canyon floor, its long, muscular legs raising it like a crane. It searches for the source of the sound. The terrain has turned it into a slower target. Aethelred reveals himself, firing his plasma caster. He misses on purpose. The shot impacts the canyon wall behind the creature, triggering a small rock slide. The Quetzalcoatlus, startled and enraged, leaps to take flight. The air conflict. The Yautja, using his harness kit and grappling cables, fires 2 lines simultaneously toward the opposite canyon ridges. The moment the Quetzalcoatlus drives its wings, Aethelred launches himself, using his body as a dynamic counterweight. His cables are taut, stretched low across the canyon. The Quetzalcoatlus cannot ascend quickly enough. Its enormous legs and breastbone strike the grappling cables. The impact and absolute precision. The Yautja releases the lines and rolls to a landing. The Quetzalcoatlus, with a leg and a wing membrane severely damaged by the tension of the cables, crashes onto the rocky ground. Its speed becomes its downfall. The Q attempts to crawl and snap with its beak. Aethelred, now that the enemy is anchored to the earth, controls the battlefield. The Yautja approaches slowly, drawing his combi stick, spear. There is no hurry. The Quetzalcoatlus is large, but it is broken. The strike is a thrust of absolute precision through the cervical joint, severing the spinal cord. The creature shivers one last time, and its eye, as large as Aethelred's hand, clouds over. The hunter, who masters the air, controls the battlefield. It is the hunt of absolute precision. Aethelred severs the enormous head, the largest trophy ever acquired, proof that mind can bring down any winged creature. The Earth Test. Triceratops, The predator always seeks intelligence. But first, it must overcome undeniable brute force. The earth prey is the test of endurance. Its prey, the Triceratops, a living fortress. The challenge is not death, but inertia. The Yautja cannot easily kill it. It must redirect its power, break the armor without being crushed. A lesson in patience and restraint. Uncontrolled force is a weakness. The Yautja proves that mind always bends muscle. The living wall, Ethelred, the Yautja, stands in a muddy clearing. He has tracked the Triceratops for hours. The creature is immense. Its frill bony shield looks like forged steel, and its 3 horns are bayonets. Ethelred activates his camouflage, but the creature detects him by scent. The Triceratops charges, a 5-ton thunderclap. The Yautja doesn't fully dodge. Instead, he fires his grappling cable not at the animal, but at a thick tree behind it. The cable stretches to its limit. Ethelred thinks. Brute force is not confronted. It is redirected. The Yautja slides across the muddy ground just as the Triceratops passes, using the cable to avoid being run over, barely scraping the beast's rear leg with his wrist blades. The enraged Triceratops destroys the tree the cable was anchored to. It turns heavily. The jungle is its maze, and its mass, its weapon. Ethelred maintains his distance. He uses his spear to repeatedly strike the edges of the Triceratops' frill, ping after ping, avoiding the armored center. He is not trying to wound it. He is trying to wear it down and force its strategy. The Yautja uses smoke bombs to disorient the creature. When the Triceratops charges blindly, Ethelred leaps onto its back. Clinging tightly to its back, Ethelred holds on firmly. The Triceratops shakes with blind violence, throwing the hunter against a tree trunk. The Yautja feels the impact. The Triceratops' bio-armor is impenetrable even to plasma shots. The hunter has a final plan. He activates his plasma caster and sets it to its lowest power, almost a concentrated heat pulse. As the beast charges one last time, Ethelred slides under its body and fires the caster, not to penetrate the hide, but beneath the front left leg, impacting the mud. The earth beneath the Triceratops vaporizes and collapses from the low-power plasma pulse. The enormous leg sinks, throwing the creature off balance. The Triceratops falls, breaking its momentum and rolling, leaving the soft junction between the neck and jaw momentarily exposed. Ethelred leaps forward with the precision of a missile. The Triceratops tries to get up, but its inertia now works against it. The Yautja sinks the smart disc through the exposed joint. Not a clean cut, but a fatal puncture. The creature roars, a sound that slowly fades as its nervous system collapses. The Yautja withdraws. There is no adrenaline, only satisfaction. Uncontrolled force is a weakness. The Yautja proves that mind always bends muscle. The lesson of patience and restraint was learned. The ultimate hybrid test. Tyrannosaurus Rex. The time for tests is over. Everything learned in the water, the air, and the earth converges in this moment. This is the pinnacle of the food chain. Its prey, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the embodiment of Earth's supreme hunter. This is not a hunt of technology, but of will. The T-Rex is a killing machine that dominates all elements. The only way to defeat it is to become the ultimate predator, combining all tactics. The trophy is the skull. The reward is knowledge. This is the ritual that rewrites the code of honor. The predator, always seeking a greater challenge. The predator survived the oceanic fury of the megalodon, the aerial dominance of the Quetzalcoatlus, the unstoppable charge of the Triceratops, and now the extreme danger of the T-Rex, the ultimate hunter. The air is heavy with sulfur and humidity. Aethelred, our Yautja, stands in a field of volcanic ash. He bears scars, but his armor is restored. In his mind, he reviews the oceanic fury of the megalodon, the aerial precision of the Quetzalcoatlus, and the patience against the Triceratops. His prey, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, a 6-meter-tall behemoth of muscle with a skull that is a bone crusher. It is not just strength. It is a combination of acute senses, terrifying straight-line speed, and the intelligence to ambush. Ethelred switches off his camouflage. This hunt demands honesty. The T-Rex roars, a sound that shakes Ethelred's chest. It charges instead of dodging. Ethelred repeats the megalodon lesson. He lunges toward the side of the charge, driving his combi stick not to kill, but to use the weapon as a temporary pivot. He holds on, redirecting the T-Rex's weight toward a large fallen log. The beast stumbles with savage frustration. As the T-Rex rights itself, Ethelred leaps backward. The plasma caster, adjusted to medium power, fires a burst, not at the body, but at the ridge above the eye. He misses on purpose, impacting close by. The flash and momentary heat blind the predator for a crucial second. Ethelred takes advantage of that instant. He hurls his smart disc at the T-Rex's feet. The disc does not aim to cut the muscle, which is too dense, but the thin membrane between the large toes. The T-Rex limps, its speed diminished. The T-Rex is wounded and frustrated, but its will is unbreakable. It realizes the hunter is fast, not strong. The dinosaur opens its jaws, attempting a slow, deliberate attack to crush Aethelred. Ethelred refuses to fight on the T-Rex's terms. He lures the dinosaur toward a steaming volcanic fissure. The Yautja fires his grappling cable, not at the T-Rex, but at the rocky ground behind it. He uses it to propel himself into a high, acrobatic leap. He lands directly on the T-Rex's neck. The creature shakes with violence, as the Triceratops did, but Aethelred has an improved grip. The Yautja, with the force of his entire body, sinks his wrist blades deep into the only consistent weak point, the base of the skull, right at the joint with the spine. It is not force. It is surgical pressure. The cut is clean and decisive. The T-Rex freezes mid-roar. The king of the earth collapses, its final inertia creating a small crater in the ash. Aethelred rises to his feet, smoke and steam obscuring his figure. He has survived the furious megalodon, the dominance of the Quetzalcoatlus, the unstoppable charge of the Triceratops, and the extreme danger of the T-Rex. The hunter extracts specialized cutting tools. The reward is knowledge. The trophy is the skull, immense and heavy, the ultimate symbol that combined cunning and will shall always overcome brute force. This is the ritual that rewrites the code of honor. The predator, always seeking a greater challenge. The saga of Aethelred has concluded with the acquisition of the supreme trophy. But if these preys forged his code, who was the hunter who tested the Yautja? Who was the prehistoric creature that made the hunter become the prey? If you want us to explore that unknown hunter, show us your support right now. Subscribe if you dared to make it to the end of this hunt. Hit like if the Megalodon was your favorite duel, and share with your friends. It has been a pleasure sharing this epic with all of you. This was Zirimax. See you in the next video.